Chris. Hello, this is Crystal Racing here with the review for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Of course, I object to having this race held in this part of the world, but I'm going to have to do a race review because, of course, the drivers had to do the race. So, your race winner today, Max Verstappen, 9.5 out of 10. He misses out on a perfect 10 because, of course, he screwed up his qualifying lap, with his teammate getting pole for the very first time in his whole career after 215 races. But Max, thanks to, of course, the TV crashing out earlier on and bringing out the safety car, Max was able to jump ahead of his teammate and fight Leclerc for the win. And whilst, yes, he was a bit too ambitious with one of his overtakes, which led to Leclerc re-overtaking him, Max learnt his lesson. He waited until the final straight to make his move, and it worked perfectly. Congratulations on taking your first win of the season. Second place, Charles Leclerc, 9 out of 10. Very good performance, but missed out on pole after being beaten by Perez. And then, of course, got beat in the race by Verstappen. So it's, yeah. But having said that, he is still leading the championship. Carlos Sainz, third place, 8 out of 10. Kind of the same as last weekend. Once again, I mean, yes, he finished second at Bahrain, but for me, once again, he looked very much like the number 2 in the team, and there's not much to say, really. He just doesn't have the raw speed of Leclerc. Fourth place, Sergio Perez, 8.5 out of 10. Extremely unlucky with the timing as a safety car because, of course, he pitted before the safety car, and then, of course, he overtook Carlos Sainz on the pit entry. Of course, he desperately was so frustrated. He tried to hold on to third place at all costs, but was forced to give the position back after the safety car came back into the pits, and he never got. And he was really stuck in fourth place. Fifth place, George Russell, 9 out of 10. Did all he could in a Mercedes, which is completely mid at this point. Whether Mercedes will improve, it remains to be seen, but I have to say, though, this is probably the worst I've seen Mercedes in about 9 years. Sixth place, Esteban Ocon, 8 out of 10. Yes, it's a great result, but in truth, he was getting outpaced by Alonso, and he struggled to hold Bottas off, and frankly, it has to be said, the sequence of events really helped Ocon out today. Seventh place, Lando Norris, 8 out of 10. A fantastic result in what is a seriously struggling McLaren at the moment. Eighth place was Pierre Gasly, 8 out of 10. Well, the AlphaTauri this weekend was struggling as well, and it has to be said, for some reason it lacked grip or any real consistency around the track, and its tyre preservation was pretty bad, but thanks to retirements, Gasly made it home in eighth place. And what's more impressive was that his intestines was apparently hurting like mad in the last 15 laps, and the way he got out of the car he got out of his car so gingerly when he parked up in Parc Fermé after the race. He was in some serious agony and he needed some medical treatment. So while we got through to the end of the race is quite impressive in itself. Of course, another driver struggling with physical problems around his demanding Saudi Arabian circuit, which, once again, you know, I have to remind you, Saudi Arabia, not only is it known for human rights abuse, but it's also got a lot of sex trafficking and many other dreadful things going on, as well as, of course, you know, attacks on LGBT people, executing them, and basically just being a totalitarian government. And frankly, you know, this event is classic sports washing. But carrying on with the review, Kevin Magnussen, 7 out of 10. He did have a fast car this weekend, but I've got to say I don't think he drove that much of an impressive race when you consider that he got overtaken quite easily by Hamilton earlier on, and then he lost out in a lot of the midfield battles. But in the end, thanks to the retirement, he finished 9th, and once again, points for a second consecutive race. So I think Haas will be pleased with that. Although it does keep them behind Alfa Romeo, though, in the Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, no, they actually stay ahead of Alfa Romeo, I beg your pardon, in the Constructors' Championship. And in 10th place, not even realising he'd scored a point, Lewis Hamilton, 7 out of 10. Dreadful qualifying, getting knocked out in Q1. I don't care how bad the car is, that is not acceptable. But in the race, though, he did a very good job hanging on to those hard tyres for 39 laps. In the end, though, of course, thanks to a mix-up between him and the pit wall, he was forced to make his only pit stop in the race after the safety car came back in, meaning he dropped all the way to the back again. And frankly, it just wasn't his weekend. I'd have to say, though, if he had pitted during the safety car in time, he probably would have held on to 6th place. But some terrible weekend for Mercedes, I've got to say. 11th place, Drew Gagnon, 5 out of 10. Let's be honest, this was a dreadful performance by him this weekend. Collided with Daniel Ricciardo in the first corner, had a glitch with his start line system, and frankly never really looked on it. And I have to say, was of course what happened with the pit stop was not his fault. He was supposed to serve his penalty, but because the jack couldn't get on, they totally forgot about it, and well, they forgot about serving the 5-second time penalty, which meant he then earned another penalty to go on top of it. Unfortunately, this was just, his driving was not that slick and he was way down the order, but thanks to all the shenanigans that had gone on, he got his way up to 11th place. But I'm not really going to give him many points for this weekend's performance, because he was once again miles off Bottas's pace in qualifying. 12th place, Nico Hulkenberg, 7 out of 10. Gotta say it, he was running the points halfway through the race, and but because of the lack of pace in the Aston Martin, he couldn't hold on. But I've got to say it, considering his lack of fitness and the fact of the matter is, he has shown up Lance Stroll quite a fair bit today, as well as qualifying at Bahrain last weekend. When he'll ever get to drive in another Grand Prix again remains to be seen. But for me, Nico Hulkenberg at least showed a will and desire to fight today, despite the lack of quality from his Aston Martin. 13th place, Lance Stroll, 5 out of 10. He literally shut the door on Alex Albon when Albon tried to overtake him. That was Stroll's fault. But of course, for some reason, the stewards decided to hand Alex Albon a 3-place grid penalty for the next race, which is really odd. But that's F1 stewarding for you. And I think, Lance Stroll was the 13th and final car to finish. Really high attrition rate today. And classified in 14th and last was, of course, Alex Albon, who I think was classified 2 or 3 laps down, due to the fact he didn't get to the finish line. But for me, it was 7 out of 10, comfortably outpaced Nicholas Latifi. And, for me, I think he could have snatched a points finish if it wasn't for his collision with Stroll, who frankly ruined everything. What's it? Stroll was 11th, Albon was 12th. If Albon got past Stroll, maybe, just maybe Albon could have been on Hamilton's tail for the last point. But personally, I still believe Stroll was at fault, but the FIA stewards have decided to disagree with me. 15th place, Valtteri Bottas, first of the retirees, 9 out of 10. Great qualifying performance again, and looked like he was on for a strong points finish, but of course, thanks to free pit stop, he was forced to park up, and he could not continue. Very unfortunate. And also unfortunate was Fernando Alonso, 9 out of 10, also had problems, despite the fact he was clearly quicker than Ocon through the race, but of course he was forced to start behind him due to Ocon out-qualifying him yet again. Daniel Ricciardo, 6 out of 10. Once again, McLaren's car just struggling, not able to show what he can do. Really unfortunate. McLaren really need to sort themselves out. Nicholas Latifi rejected the race, crashing out so early on. And when he crashed out, his radio message was, "I don't know what happened." Oh my goodness me, you really are a bag of garbage. Now that Mazepin is gone, you are now finally being exposed. And of course, for those of you who have been watching this channel, you know that 18 months ago I ranked Alex Albon as being the worst driver of the 2020 season. But yet Alex Albon has wiped the floor with Latifi. It's not even being close. And it's 3 out of 10 from me. Rejected the day. And frankly, this guy is heading is a strong contender to be finally ranked reject of the season in what is his third year in the sport. And frankly, if he does not improve, I hope he leaves. I really sincerely hope he goes if he does not improve. And as for the two drivers who could not start, Yuki Tsunoda 6 out of 10, decent pace throughout practice and qualifying, but of course a transmission issue meant he was benched for the day. And of course Mick Schumacher was also benched for the day due to extensive damage to his horse. In qualifying, 5 out of 10 for Mick and 6 out of 10 for Yuki. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe to Crystal Racing, and I'll see you again next time.